This being the 1232nd volume. Before I get started with the lesson, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakat Yahweh, and Barakat Yahweh Shai, and the Wadiyaha Bashem Yahweh Shai, Kayaha, Rakak Kodash. That is the Holy Spirit which moves me and compels me to do these lessons. And so I want to speak about the rapid hyperinflation that is beginning to kick in. And I want to pull up a few things. And this is going to lead to more sedition. All right, this is going to lead to more and more people just losing their mind, man, because we're at a very tense point in history. Matter of fact, let me start here in the book of 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. All right, we're in some perilous times, as it says. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Forgive me, got these goddamn ads. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. You should know this is in the NLT. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times. Yeah, and we're in the last times. It is very difficult for these people. Let me read this one more time. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times. Right, so that's the time that we're living in. Very difficult times. The time of great misery coming upon these people. Let me grab this. In the book of 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter. This book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8. Verse 50. For many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. That's right. And part of that misery is this hyperinflation. So let me go ahead and pull this in Revelation, the 6th chapter, and let me pull up this this tweet. Yeah, and it's only getting worse. All right, a recession is likely to hit the U.S. economy in 2024. Per the economist David Rosenberg, a so-called Jew, and really, the recession had already hit. Already got 47,622 job cuts this month, just in February, and we anticipate that it's going to get worse as we go into March and in April and May. All right, as we go throughout the year, and I don't want Ratazah, we're not going to get through the end of the year. Because the way that everything is trending, the Heavenly Father might just go ahead and take this place out. All right, before the end of this year. But let me grab this. Americans are paying on average $605 more each month for groceries compared with the same time 2 years ago. And 1,019 more compared with 3 years ago. So that's a lot of money, man. 605 more each month. And where is his money coming from? And his money is coming from what? It's coming from savings, or it's coming from credit cards, because you got a lot of people, in order to survive, they gotta what? They gotta take out all types of debt, which eventually you gotta pay that back, or you end up defaulting. All right, so that's the condition of these Babylonians. This is the book of Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. That's right. So we see that the rich are ruling over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Who's the lender? Ultimately, the so-called Jew. Who are the borrowers? All the inhabitants of the earth. So let me go ahead and pull this up in the NLT. Proverbs 22:7 in the NLT. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. That's right. So now you're what? You're servants. And we see that the economic inequality of America is approaching that of a country like Brazil. These quote unquote third world countries. Well, that's really the state of Babylon. And that's why you see, and we've been seeing this for the last year and a half, people online just complaining. I was on the highways and a potential brother brought a book with Apocrypha, and it had a whole another 70 verses in 2nd Ezra. Does anyone know anything about that? You know what? A brother had brought that up. I think the brother Mashak, he had purchased it, but I hadn't really went into it. I believe it is valid, because I think a brother some years back, he went into it, but I don't want to speak too much on it. And shalom to you, Akim Wa'akwafia Bashim Shabrakathem. Yeah, he says in Surah, the 5th chapter, if you can answer your neighbor, go ahead and do it. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. I want to do some more research. Yeah, I do remember some years back, a brother bringing it out, and it seemed to be valid. But I'll do some more research, and then maybe I'll do a community post or something like that on it. But let me grab this in the book of Sirach, the 21st chapter. All right, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 8. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. That's right, man. So eventually you're going to be buried in debt, as the saying goes. You're going to be drowning in debt. You're going to be buried in debt. And that's really the state of these people. Let me go ahead and pull this tweet back up. So Americans are paying on average $605 more each month for groceries compared with the same time 2 years ago, and 1,019 more compared with 3 years ago. And that's because this hyperinflation is kicking in. Because that's what happens when you just create all types of money out of thin air and there's nothing backing it. Because that's really the definition of inflation. It's the expansion of the money source. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and look that up. All right. Inflation. A general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. Right? That's one of it. Let me pull up something else. Inflation is a rise in prices which can be translated as the decline of purchasing power over time. The rate at which purchasing power drops can be reflected in the average price increase of a basket of selected goods and services over some time, right? And that time is within 2 years, people are paying $600 more. Hey, that's unsustainable. The rise in prices, which is often expressed as a percentage, means that a unit of currency effectively buys less than it did in prior periods. Inflation can be contrasted with deflation, which occurs when prices decline and purchasing power increases, and the purchasing power isn't going to increase. All right, it's only going to get worse. Okay, it's going to be like the Weimar Republic out here. Hold on one second. Yeah, here it is. It's expansion of the money supply. What happens if the money supply growth exceeds the growth of the overall economy? If the money supply grows faster than overall economic growth, inflation will occur. That's right. So when everybody was at home in 2020, going into 2021, getting these stimmies, getting these loans, that's helped to escalate everything. That helped to increase everything. And now you got all this money for Ukraine, all this money for Israel, all this money for the migrants. So you just got money just getting pumped and pumped and pumped, but there's literally nothing backing it. All right, it's not getting put back into the economy. It's just free money. Well, on the surface, it's free money, but who pays for it? Hey, the people that live in this society. These are the people that are paying for it. All right, that includes me. That includes you. Hey, but see, we're not affected like these people because we got food and raiment. We're content. Hey, yet these people that are looking for upward mobility, you know, they're looking for a come up, man. They're in for a rude awakening. Hey, we already know what time it is, and we already know this place is a big ass Ponzi scheme. We know that this place is a joke. Hey, but these people that have trusted in America, they're beginning to wake up to that. They're beginning to wake up to the fact that there's no sustainability in this society. Yeah, let me grab this in Isaiah 19:14. I don't want to have me go to a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. That's right. There's a perverse spirit in Babylon the Great, in Egypt, aka America. And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. That's right. So eventually there's not going to be any work for Egypt. That's why there's so many layoffs this month. Again, it's in the tens of thousands. Let me go ahead and pull up the exact number. It was 47,000. That's a lot of jobs being lost. And you look all across America, these big cities and even some of these smaller cities, what are you gonna see? You're gonna see tents all over the place. You're gonna see these different businesses packing up. And like not too far from here in Oakland, in the Bay Area, you got Denny's, they shutting down. In-N-Out, they're shutting down, and that's the first In-N-Out to ever be shut down. But it's because the area is so bad. Why is the area so bad? Because there's no jobs. All right, there's no manufacturing hubs, because that's what Oakland used to be. It's a port city, so you used to have a lot of manufacturing. Hey, that's a time of the past. Oakland is pretty much a big ass ghost city, and it's only gonna get worse. So Oakland, San Francisco, L.A., or Chicago, New York. Hey, we see how messed up New York is. See, that's just a microcosm of America. America. All right, as these patriots like to say. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up the number again. Oh, and by the way, Chairman and CEO Jamie Dimon dumped 125 million worth of JP Morgan shares yesterday, and he has been CEO since 2006, and it's the first time. Now, and this is his first ever sale of company shares. That's right. And Bezos, he's selling off shares. So that right there, Bezos, which he's the head of Amazon, he's selling off his shares. So that should let you know. That should let you know that something's about to hit. Why why are why are these people why are these people that are the head of these prominent companies selling off their stock? Because they know what time it is. They know what's about to take place. They know that the complete collapse of this economy, not just American economy, but global economy, is imminent. Right? Jeff Bezos unloads around 2.4 billion in Amazon stock, bringing recent sales to 50 million shares. So you should really ask yourself, okay, what's coming down the pipe? Obviously something is up. If this guy, and we know how profitable Amazon is. Everybody uses Amazon. Yet this man says, you know what, man, let me go ahead and get out right now. Hey, but we understand most of these people, they're not going to lay it to heart. Right? These people are going to just pass on, simple-minded, and they're going to be punished. Right? So 47,622 job cuts this month. That's right. So that's leading into the 15th verse, Isaiah 19 and 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Right. So eventually there's not going to be any work for this place. And we see it getting to that point. And you got wait lists even to be a delivery driver, whether it's Grubhub, what's the other ones? Instacart, or if you want to do Lyft or Uber, you got big ass wait lists. Why? Because people have been laid off, so now they're trying to partake in the gig economy. But now that's oversaturated. And so eventually even that's going to get phased out. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. That's right. So whether you are a CEO, whether you're in middle management, all right, whether you're a janitor, whether you're a cashier, whether you're a stocker, there's not going to be any work. And we're definitely trending. We're definitely trending in that direction. Meanwhile, you got wars, you got rumors of wars. All right, the incidents in the Red Sea, that stuff's not slowing up. Hey, and it's all the way up over there in our homeland, over there in Israel. So all these things are happening at once. And in the midst of all that, you got a bunch of fucking hate-filled, racist ass Edomites. They ready to ride, man. And they ready to ride on you tribes. Hey man, because whenever I go on X, at certain times you gotta just put it down, man. Esau's spazzing out on this app. These people are really losing it, man. These people are really losing it. So we can tell that everything is about to come to a head. All right, and this hyperinflation is only going to make people more irritated and force people out in the streets and force people to go and holler at the elected officials. This is the book of Revelation 6 and 5. When I'm reading this in the NLT. When the Lamb broke the third seal, I heard the third living being saying, "Come." I looked up and saw a black horse, and its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. So I'm going to go ahead and look this up. I'm going to go to the blue letter, look up this word scales. All right, so the word here for scales, which in the KJV it says balances. The word here is, bear with me, zygos. Right, so the word here is zygos, a yoke, metaphorically used of any burden or bondage as that of slavery. That's right, man. So people are becoming wage slaves. Now, there's a theory that goes back to England. It's called subsistence wage theory. And that's pretty much the theory that has been implemented here in Babylon the Great. That theory is that people work only to get the bare necessities. And really, people can't even get that. Not with one job. People got to work 2, 3 jobs. You got people that got a full-time job, then they'll have a part-time job, then they'll partake in the gig economy. They might be doing Postmates or DoorDash or Grubhub. And who's ultimately bringing that upon the earth is the Heavenly Father. All right, so when the Lamb broke the third seal, I heard the third living being say, "Come." I looked up and saw a black horse, and its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. Right, slavery. that's back in a big way. Economic slavery. You got a lot of, especially them so-called Jews and the Ukrainians. You got a lot of people that are actually getting human trafficked. I just saw another story on that. Some so-called Jew just got popped. But this is really talking about, as we're going to go on to read, this economic slavery. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beasts saying, "A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And don't waste the olive oil and wine." That's right. So this is the point. A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And that's pretty much where we're at. Just to get some basic commodities is going to cost you your whole day's worth of work. I'm gonna read it again. Americans are paying an average, and this is just here in America, in Babylon. And you go over there to Europe and the brothers in the UK, you could testify. It's even worse in certain of those countries. Like you go over there to Germany, in particular, man, their economy is completely crashing out. But what's happening to Japan? But which is obviously it's in a Pacific. Now these are strong economies, but they're going through it. Now the stock market is flourishing. Like the Japanese stock market just hit like a record high, but they're technically in a recession, and them people is going through it. Showing you that the stock market isn't a true indicator of how the people are doing. Hey, because you got Nvidia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. They dealing in the chips and the semiconductor and AI chips, right? Man, their stock is going through the roof. But look at these people, man. Look at the condition of these people. These people are gone. So Americans are paying on average 605 more each month for groceries compared with the same time 2 years ago, and 1,019 more compared with 3 years ago. So what is this going to lead to? This is going to lead to uproars of the people. This is going to lead to sedition. All right, because people can't bear too much more. We see it in the countenance. And like I was expressing at the altar, my client, she said she felt like she was having a nervous breakdown. She was complaining about her job. She got to work 24-hour shifts. Now this is a Harvard educated woman, and I'm sorry, she started at Harvard and then she went to Stanford. So she did supposedly everything right. You know, went to the Ivy League school, did the residency. She's gone, but she's gone though, man. And there's many more people just like her. All right, so 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Right, and we can all perceive that the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? Because these race wars are going to hit in a real heavy way. Again, all you got to do is go on X for 5 minutes, man. You gonna see Esau complaining like the little bitch that he is, just like his forefather. All right, he's lifting up his voice and weeping. See over there in Ireland, man, Ireland is being invaded by them Hamites, them Ishmaelites. I was just in Europe, man. When you go to Belgium, you go to the Netherlands, you're gonna see a gang of Ishmaelites, and you're gonna see a gang of Hamites. You're gonna see a gang of Israelites. So the Heavenly Father has set that up strategically, so that He can bring about worldwide race wars. And that's all Esau is doing is complaining. He's pretty much just giving recruiting pitches to his people. All right, to stand up against what they deem an invading force. All right, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's right, man. We gonna see civil wars in all these different countries. As a matter of fact, let me grab this in the NLT. in Mark the third chapter, because all of these different countries, they're divided. Even over there, even over there in the UK. Let me see if I can pull up. If I could put, well, shit, look at this. Listen to this. A left wing, and shalom to you brothers over there in the UK, as well as the rest of you Akim here in Babylon. Abba Shem Yashab Barakathum. See, brother Bahashem, brother Mashat, brother Dani Allah, and brothers over there in the UK, my brother Sakala, brother over there in North Kakalaki, over there in North Carolina, brother Malak La'ab, brother Ariyah, Karataza, Abba Shem Yashab Barakathum. All right. You ancients knew, why don't we? Brother Yahamliya. All right, the sisters, Shamar and Saraya. Abba Shem Yashab Barakathum. Yeah, so peep this. A left-wing anarchist has been found guilty of preparing acts of terrorism by compiling and sharing a bomb-making manual after declaring that he wanted to kill at least 50 politicians. Yeah, so this is real, man. This is how people are feeling. He look like he'll do it too. He look like he do it. You can look at him and tell he ready. So how many more people are like that? You got millions of people that are getting quote unquote radicalized. Now Esau's trying to frame it like, oh, see, look, they're getting radicalized online, but really they're getting radicalized because the cost of living is going through the roof. People are getting evicted. People are having to foreclose on their homes. People are losing their cars, getting repoed. This ain't sustainable. All right, this way of surviving, of existing, it isn't sustainable. So what's happening? People are beginning to look at the government and say, look, man, we got to get rid of these people. All right, they're looking at other ethnic groups, scapegoating them. Okay, well, you're the problem. You're the problem. Look, this is over in Ireland. So this is a worldwide thing, man. This is a messed up world. You could thank Esau/Edom for it. You could thank the so-called white man for this. All right, because why are these migrants? Yeah, this look like San Francisco. Yeah, it look like San Francisco, man. But that's over there in Dublin, Ireland. Right, rent for a month went from $1,700 to $2,200. See, $500, that's a lot of money, and because the cost of everything is going up, but the wages ain't going up. So now people are even in a worse deficit. Right, it's getting really bad. Exactly, it's getting to the point where it's unbearable for people. Meanwhile, look at what Trump said. We are very close to the Third World War. We are in World War III. Pull up some more. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, let me pull this up because I favorited it. It was some woman from the UK. Like it was some mainstream. You know, it's one of the mainstream legacy media organizations, and she was just speaking openly. Here it is. Yep. Pete. I sent this to the brothers.
Islamism is sweeping our nation. No, this is not Islamophobia. This is real. You know how this is real? Because we actually see the victims of that, not just in Mike Freer, the Justice Minister, who said he's not standing for Parliament again because of the threats to him and his family from Islamist ideologies. We see it in Sir David Amess, an MP brutally murdered because of Islamist ideology. We see that in Stephen Timms, a Labour MP, thankfully survived a stabbing in his own constituency. Yes, we all focus on Jo Cox, talk about her all the time. Another tragic death at the hands of a far-right extremist. But actually, the far-right extremist violence is by far the minority. Let's just go through just a list of the Islamic extremist events we've seen in recent years. Let's go back to the London Bridge attacks, 2019 and 2017, the Reading attack in a park in 2020, the Manchester Arena attack in 2017, also in 2017, the Westminster attack, the Woolwich murder of Lee Rigby back in 2013. Do anyone remember 7/7 in 2005 when we lost 52 people in those horrific bomb attacks on buses and tubes? Does anyone remember the Batley Grammar School teacher who 4 years ago just showed an image from Charlie Hebdo of Prophet Muhammad to his class and has been in hiding, fearing for his life ever since? The staff of the cinemas supposed to be screening The Lady of Heaven about the Prophet Muhammad's family, basically facing threats and therefore refusing to go ahead with it. The little boy who took a Quran to school for a bet and he got stuffed, and his mother forced to basically beg local leaders in the Muslim community for her child's life as a police officer looked on and approved. We have sleptwalked into this. No one should be surprised by what happened in the House of Commons last night. We have been brushing this issue under the carpet for years. Another terror attack, another killing of an MP. Oh, don't worry, let's light a candle, let's all sing, don't look back in anger, and sing Kumbaya, and everything will be okay. The one thing we must not do is face up to the threat that we have imported to our country. And no, this isn't Islamophobia. This isn't talking about the 4 million Muslims who live peaceably in this country, who want to just make a life for themselves, for their children, go to work and live lives the same as everyone else of any other religion or none. We are talking, though, about a sizable minority, a far too large minority.
See? And so this is a worldwide thing. Talk TV. I know you brothers are familiar with this winch more than me. But this is the state of the world. This is the state of the world, man. California got tested last night. Friends confirmed power outages and internet outages. Buckle up. It's go time. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. You got Mass Left, Planet Fitness. They're eliminating more people, more jobs. And again, this is all going to lead to 2nd Ezra 15 chapter. Race wars and overthrowing of the government. All right, so let me go ahead and finish here in 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's right, and swords in their hands, talking about guns. Let me grab this actually in Isaiah, the 13th chapter, after I get this in Mark 3 and 24. And Yahushua called them over and responded with an illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan? He asked. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. That's right, man. And that's these societies. These societies are really in civil war. It just hasn't escalated to the point where people are shooting each other on a day-to-day basis. But that's right around the corner. Clearly. Let me read this one more time. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. That's right, man. So these countries, they're all divided by civil war. And we're going to see, man, we're going to see some crazy stuff this year, man. Adon Ratazah, Isaiah 13 and 14. Everyone in Babylon will run about like a hunted gazelle, like sheep without a shepherd. That's right, man. Everyone in Babylon will run about like a hunted gazelle, like sheep without a shepherd. They will try to find their own people and flee to their own land. That's right, man. So that's what you see. You see more segregation. Anyone who is captured will be cut down, run through with a sword. That's right, man. That's what's coming to America. And we're going to see that in these different countries as well. I just highlighted what's going on over there in the UK. Anyone who is captured will be cut down, run through with a sword. Their little children will be dashed to death before their eyes. Their homes will be sacked, and their wives will be raped. All right, so this is the time that we in. The complete collapse, the complete breakdown of society here in America, primarily, and all across the globe. All right, and we ready for it, man. We've been prophesying about these things, and now it's coming to pass. And again, this is happening internally in these different countries, and then you got all these external conflicts. And you got all these leaders talking about World War III and how it's going to be nuclear. Oh, you got Biden referring to Putin as a son of a bitch, just talking shit, talking shit, just making the situation worse, man. But it's the second as it's 15 and 16, right? Ezekiel 7 and 25, right? Pure savagery. That's right. This is what we're on the cusp of. We're on the cusp of pure savagery. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. That's right. There ain't gonna be no peace. It say there's no peace to the wicked. And so the Heavenly Father, he just gonna keep upping it to the point where the lights go out, internet is out. It's just going to be pure chaos. Psalms 91 and 5. And again, this could happen this could really happen at any moment. This could happen literally at any moment. We saw how tenuous the situation is yesterday. You had tens of hundreds of thousands of people. They lost access to even call the police, man. So imagine if this happens for even just 2-3 days nationwide. Complete chaos. All right, Psalm 91 and 5. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Oh, and another thing, right? So I've been talking about the variant that's supposed to drop. Well, my woman, she pointed out that a lot of people are sick, her cousins or her uncles, they real sick, and they've been sick for about a month, and they didn't went to the doctor to try to get it taken care of, but it's not registering. It's not like it's not being identified. And so she's thinking whatever variant, new disease that Esau has been forecasting he gonna drop is actually already been dropped, and we'll see. Hey, because not for nothing, I went to the grocery store yesterday and I saw a lot of people with masks on. So something's in the air. Hey, but the Heavenly Father, He gonna protect us from it. That's what we believe through faith. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Right, but it's not going to come nigh us. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. That's right, man. So we're going to see the reward of the wicked. Right, it's going to be like GTA out here. People be pulling up would be going on in Oakland with them sideshows, Oakland and Stockton, and that's what they say. It's like, damn, this is GTA. Yeah, it's coming to a city near you. I was in New York the other day. I have a lot of family sick up there. Well, there you go. That's the spirit. There's something that's going around, and they're not being able to identify it or classify it and properly treat it. People are going to the doctor. They pay $800 per month for healthcare. Then they go to the first person mode. So then they go to the doctor. The doctor ain't got nothing to tell them. Doctor ain't got nothing to tell them, man. And so we gonna see. And like I was saying last night, kept the facade. This really got the same exact vibe as 4 years ago when everything was shut down because of the COVID. It is really the same type. It's really the same type spirit. We can discern that something real big is about to hit. That's going to cause people to be locked down. But this time, or attempted to lock down. But this time, people ain't gonna go for it. This is the tip people gonna be on. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. With sedition, conduct or speech that incites rebellion against the government. Right? Them spike proteins starting to. Yep. That's it, man. Yeah, exactly. Because you participated in that. You a ticking time bomb. Oh, and not for nothing, they just came out with a report. They just came out with a report saying that you're gonna have slight changes in your. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull it up. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Damn. Well, I'm trying to think what I looked up. Yep. Here it is. Because a report just dropped a few days ago. Bro, now it's not coming. They might have just censored this shit. Hey, we know how much of a fucking devil this man is. And let me see if I hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up on my Twitter feed. Yeah, because they just dropped a report, man, and backing up what the brother Daniela said. Hold on one second. I know I'll be favoring it so much, so it takes a while to go through. Well, let me read this actually. U.S. is collaborating with Chinese scientists to make bird flu strains more infections and deadly as part of a $1 million project. Despite fears, similar tests unleash COVID. You see that? So that's what's going on right now. But let me pull this up. Yeah, man, this is a worldwide thing. I'm just going through. I'm trying to get to it. I'm going through everything that's taking place over there in Spain. Them people going crazy, man. Them people going crazy, man. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, Salakia. Uh, yeah, yeah, Salakia, Salakia. Hmm. Yeah, Salakia. I can't find it right now. Hey, I can't find it right now, but pretty much a report. I got. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I go to news. Maybe it'll come out. Yeah, two very real. Yep, 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 yep. COVID vaccine study links finds links to health conditions. This is on Bloomberg News Nation. New study links COVID-19 vaccine to possible health issues. You see that? So you now they're coming out with it, but 3, 4 years ago you would get deplatformed. You get hit with a medical misinformation. Shit, I got hit with a medical misinformation claim about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this in the I'm gonna put this in the chat as a matter of fact, so you brothers can take a look. But yeah, you essentially are a ticking time bomb if you let Esau inject that into you. And that's the first thing I asked. I said, okay, well, did they take the jab? And she was like, nah, they didn't, because they're so-called believers, so-called Christians. But you got a lot of people that have took it. All right, and they gonna suffer in these last days, and rightfully so. Let me go ahead and finish this up though. Second, yeah, the blood, yeah, exactly, exactly. All right, second is 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning what? These people are going to be able to do what they want, because the rule of law is going to be not in effect. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. That's right, man. Hey, so these cities, they're being troubled, and it's only going to get worse. All right, the job there's going to be more job losses. There's going to be higher costs for food, for housing, for gas. for essentially everything, and people are just gonna lose their minds. All right, that's the time that we're in. That's really all that's left for this place. Just complete breakdown and civility, and everybody turning into brute beasts. All right, there's nothing left for Babylon in this world but that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end here through the spirit. Went a little longer than I anticipated. Salakia. For the long pauses. I try to be as succinct as possible, but I'm gonna. As a matter of fact, somebody just put a fucking community note. But I'm gonna go ahead and end through the spirit and give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, and Barakatah Yahweh Shai, and the Wadiha Bashem Yahweh Shai, Kayaha, Rakakwadash, the Holy Spirit, which moved me, compelled me to do the lesson. And I don't Ratazah as always. I'll be out a little later on them highways and hedges. All right, till next time, Abba Ball. Shalom to the remnant, shalom to the elect.